Okay, we are wanting to do just a quick video on the Button Buddies and the different kinds that we have used. For those who don't know, a Button Buddy can be used around a feeding tube, a cecostomy, other kinds of things. Basically, it's just a piece of fabric layered together, felt or fleece, that snaps around a tube. My daughter has a cecostomy, which is a Mickey button, or she has the AMT Mini 1, and it goes into the cecum of her large intestine. And this allows us to do daily irrigations. Instead of using gauze just fastened around or taped around or to the skin or around the button itself, we have found Button Buddies. We started off with these. They're cute. They were cheap, low cost. You can find the lady on Facebook, and they're okay. But if you can see, there's a major difference between these and these, and that's what I wanted to talk about, because we discovered that my daughter's skin is very sensitive, and the type of button and the way it's made does play into effect. So if you're ordering Button Buddies for the first time, don't order a lot. Make sure that what you're ordering is suitable for your child or for your needs. I'm placing the ones we began with over the top of the ones that we now prefer. This one, you can see the hole, how it's cut here, and it simply snaps like this. Okay, that still leaves, let's see if I can get it to snap, that still leaves quite a large opening here. My index finger fits, and it still has a little space. Also, if you notice, come on, let me unsnap it. If you notice the size, these are supposed to fit. They're supposed to be the same size. They obviously are not. So we get more coverage with these buttons. The back of these is white. The backs of these we really like better because not only does the snap match, but the button fabric matches as well. That's just a vanity thing. We just like it. I mean, it's just nice. So now we're going to snap this one closed, and I'm going to show you the difference in the size of the hole in the middle. Alright. There's barely a noticeable hole at all. And that makes a huge difference for my daughter. These, I have actually seen the granulation tissue grow up over this hole because it's moving. It's, you know, see how it spreads open. I mean, they can get quite big, and they have actually fallen off the button with the AMT Mini 1. So there's that one, and I'll put this one so you can see my finger in the back right there by Twilight's eye. That's it. So there's much less room for friction to cause granulation tissue to grow. And so she only wears these if we are like in an emergency and these are not washed and dried, or they're not ready yet, or if I don't have any. But often I will let her wear these to bed and save these for when she's up and about. You see she has many of these. We usually change about 3 times a day. So I'll let her wear these to bed when she is not moving around a lot, when she's not causing a lot of friction, because that's just, I mean, I've seen the granulation tissue grow up and just about over the edges of these. It kind of overlaps. And it took me a long time to figure it out, but it was the button itself, the Button Buddy itself, causing, because of the friction. I mean, because it slides around on the button. That's just, the hole is much too big for a button, because the post on a button is very slender. So we prefer these. We get these buttons. I'm not going to say where I got these from, because they're not bad. They just don't work for us. They are cost effective. They just don't work for us. So I'm not putting her down. I'm just showing the difference that I have learned in the last 8 months. But these, we really prefer these. We got these from Gott's G-Pads. I think that's the name of it. G-O-T-Z, G-P-A-D-Z, I think. You can find her on Facebook. You can find her online. I'll put a link below as well, because we really like these. The quality is great. They hold up very well. We use these all the time. And they just hold up well. There's no fraying. They wash well. But what I really like about this person's website is she has swag pads. And if you can see, these actually look different than these. If you look, you have, see if I can unsnap that one. See if I got one that's not snapped. Here we go. We'll use Squirtle. If you can see, this one has a flap over the top. And that's what makes these really neat for my daughter. She's 8, and if you can imagine, the button sits up here. And so it kind of hides part of the picture. Or, the fabric. No matter which, you're going to lose a little bit of Twilight there. Same if there was one sitting on top, you'd lose part of Squirtle. The button is about as big as my finger there. These, the button goes through this. The back side is just like these. So basically it's the same thing. You just slide that over, position your button inside the little pocket. You can see in there really well. Snap the pocket, which is this first snap to this one. And then your button is inside. And then you're just going to simply snap the top down. That's why that extra snap is there. And now the kid or adult, some adults like, your button is completely hidden under the swag pad. So where it comes through the back. It's completely hidden. And you get the entire character on the front. She loves these. The only time we don't use these is if she's dealing with a lot of a yeast infection around her button. She does get those. She has very sensitive skin. She does get those from time to time because of the heat, especially here in Alabama. The heat and the humidity is miserable. So we don't use these because there's not as much airflow. But when her stoma is healthy, these cause no problem. And plus, when we have a yeast infection around it, we use the Silver Mepilex because it just helps it to heal faster, and the powdered nystatin underneath that. So it's not really even a matter of airflow because these are breathable. It's just a matter of, that's what we have to do to help her skin to heal quicker. So these are the swag pads, and these are the regular pads. They all match, the backs, the fronts. If you see on the inside of this one, she's got the khaki color to match. Meowth. Is that Meowth? I don't know. Is this Meowth, Aaliyah? So she has, they're color coordinated. We love that they're color coordinated. They just makes them look so much more, I guess. It's just a vanity thing. We like it. They just look neater. They look cuter for us. You can see how they color coordinate. And all the buttons, the snaps, the backs, I mean, every one that we got, we were completely shocked that they didn't have the plain white background. It's just quality. You pay just a little more than I did for that, but honestly, it wasn't that much more, and I love the way these hold up. There's no fraying. I don't have to worry about them coming undone. So how do I wash these? What I do is I have a large, like a water container I got like at the Dollar Tree. It's like a liter. And I just simply drop these in that because they do get crusty and they do get drainage on them. But if you look at these, there's no staining. What I do is, she wears these all the time. We go through 3 or 4 a day when she has bad leakage. Sometimes she has bleeding and just colon contents leaks out. So anyways, what I do, I store them so that they can air dry, because I don't like to wash 1 or 2 at a time. I like to just get it done maybe once or twice a week. So I have an open container that I just drop these into, and I keep it open because they will get kind of funky smelling if you close that container up. I learned the hard way, and it takes longer to get the smell out. So what I do is I let them accumulate till about 12 or 15 of them. So it's just over a period of about 3 to 4 days. And then I will put hot water in because they have air dried. So all the crusty stuff is air dried over the tops of them. I put hot water in, and sometimes I add in a OxiClean type detergent, just a little bit. And let them soak. Shake them up in the container, put the lid on, shake them up real good, let them soak. And then I simply have a mesh bag. After I've soaked them during the day, I have a mesh bag, like a lingerie bag or laundry bag, whatever you call it. And I hold it in my washing machine, and I just pour all that in. Or you can pour the fluid off in your sink. It doesn't matter. I just dump it in the wash because it does have a little bit of detergent in it. And I pour these into the mesh bag, just kind of knock them all out, zip them up, and wash them with my towels. Do not use bleach. I've even ruined some using Color Safe bleach before. I use and prefer a whitening detergent like an OxyClean based detergent that uses the baking soda, the peroxide. If she bleeds, I will put some peroxide and a little baking soda in the container while they're soaking. That gets all trace of blood off of her button buddies, um, or her G-tube pads or whatever they call. She has a C-tube, so but that peroxide and baking soda. It also works well on stains because hers is in her colon. Sometimes stool can come out, and so it works well on those stains. If you're worried about bacteria, tea tree oil in the wash, tea tree oil in the soak. Tea tree oil is a antibacterial oil. It's very good. Also, it helps to eliminate any odors, and it really just gets these things sparkling clean. I use that quite often in my wash, especially like with towels and stuff. It's just a great antibacterial type. Has a lot of benefits and properties to it. But anyways, they come out. Do not toss them in the dryer if I can help it. If we're running late and I need them dried, I will toss one in the dryer. It does not ruin it. I just do not like to put them in the dryer. I like to hang them up and let them air dry. And then I'll press over them with an iron, making sure not to press the snap because it is plastic and it can melt. But just press this and they'll look perfect in just a second. Use a little steam. But that's how we take care of her button buddies. These are the different types she likes. I mean, she has these others. Like I said, nothing against them. We just don't prefer them. They don't work for her. You see how big the gaps are. And so if you're using something that looks like this and you're getting a lot of granulation tissue, that could be your problem. This gap is just too big. It causes too much friction. While they are cute and they are cheap, they're very, very low cost, they just do not work for her. So we have a lot of these that I bought a lot at one time. 2 different times I bought a lot of them because I got a great deal on them. They're just not effective for her. They cause the granulation tissue. I mean, it's just the gap's too big. So keep that in mind when you're shopping for button buddies or button pals, whatever they're called on the internet. They're called many different things. I'll put a link to this lady because, I mean, this is great quality work, and I always like to give credit when I'm pleased with a product. I'm not getting any kind of contribution. I'm not getting any kind of payment. I just am pleased with the product. We've used them for several months now. They look great. They look fantastic. And they keep her granulation tissue growth. They help keep it down to a minimum. Anyway, a little review on these button buddies, so to speak. And I hope it helps answer some questions for you. When you're out shopping, you may want to ask for a picture of a button buddy to see if it's got a before you commit to a certain company. There are so many of them out there, so many people out there making these, or a certain business, not company. And I really like these. I'll put her link down in the bottom. These are great. So I hope this helped. And I'm sorry it was so long, but I just wanted to put that out there because it's been an eye-opener for us. It's a learn-as-you-go process, and if we all come together and work together, then we can make it easier for each other. So that's it. Have a good day. Bye.